Hi, my name is Nicholas. Welcome to today's Yin practice. I'll invite you to get started in a tall seat today, so if you like to sit up off of any of your props, then go for it. As far as props for today, I would suggest having a bolster nearby or any kind of a thick cushion and soft block, maybe a blanket, anything like that that you think you might need. And then starting off in any comfortable seated position, if cross-legged's comfortable, go for it. If you want the legs extended, go for that instead. Take a moment to settle the sit bones in, to lengthen the spine, maybe to close down the eyes. And as you settle yourself in, check in with the body to see how it feels today. Notice your headspace, notice your breath. And as always, check in to see what would benefit you the most from today's practice. If I'm moving on to the next pose, but you feel like you'd benefit from a little more time in the pose that you're in, you're welcome to stay longer. If I offer a shape that doesn't work for your body, you're always welcome to modify, to use your props a little differently, or to swap the pose out altogether. When you feel ready to move the body, we'll flutter the eyes open, release the legs for a moment, give them a little bit of a shake out. And we'll begin today's practice in butterfly pose. So bring the soles of the feet together. And then if you're not already sitting up off of something, you may choose to do so. You might also choose to have a prop nearby in case you needed a bolster or something. And then find a distance between the feet and the pelvis that feels good here. So you might choose to have the feet a little bit closer or a little bit further away. And then from here, chin in towards the chest, start to round from the neck and then round the back body. And see where you end up, staying within an edge of sensation. If you do feel pinching in the low back, you might choose to come up and maybe come back in, or maybe you stay a little bit more upright. But eventually find something that feels sustainable for you, somewhere that you can breathe comfortably and smoothly. Always the option for props. So if you like to use a bolster, you might put one end to the feet and one end to the forehead or to the chest. Maybe the arms can wrap around. Maybe you're coming a little deeper in the pose. You want something to rest the elbows onto. For some of you, you might also lie a bolster across the lap so you can lower the chest down onto it. Whatever your shape ends up looking like, send the breath into the back body. And take that scan through the body to check in here. And you might notice as you hold the pose, and perhaps a slightly deeper expression becomes available. And if you choose to go a little deeper, that's fine. Just keep listening to your body and staying away from any feeling that you would describe as pain. And if you need a little more time in this shape, you're welcome to stay longer. Otherwise, use the support of the hands and slowly start to unravel the spine once again. And once you come upright, you can move any props off to the side. You might use the hands to collect the knees together. And then just a gentle windshield wiper of the knees side to side, releasing for the hips. If you want a little counter stretch for the spine, you might lift the chest up, maybe lift the gaze and the chin up as well. And then this is how we'll set up the next shape as well. So as much support as you need. And take the feet as wide apart as you like, so find something that feels relatively comfortable. And then for the first expression, we'll start with a bend to the knees. You can choose how much of a bend you want. Some people might bend quite deeply and have the feet to the floor. Others might have the legs mostly extended. And again, the option for a prop, if you like, will fold through the center of the legs and will fold the same way by rounding the spine. So head gets heavy first. And start to round upper, mid back, low back. And again, listen as you come in. If you feel like you're going past an edge of sensation that you don't want to cross, then gently back out. All the same options for your props as well. So take a moment to set yourself up. And as you're ready to gently start to lift yourself back up, we'll stay in the straddle shape for a little while longer. So from here, the option is to extend the legs towards straight. And of course, they don't have to be all the way straight. So you can still keep a bend if you like. And from here, we'll add a twist element to it. So if twisting and folding doesn't work for your spine, then you might choose to just do a twist and stay upright here. Otherwise, we'll turn the chest to the direction of the left leg and then fold over that, and we'll fold the same way here. So hands alongside for support. Head gets heavy, rounding through the back body. Notice where you feel this. Notice your breath and your headspace here. And if you need a little more time here, then please stay longer. Otherwise, with the help of the hands, slowly lifting yourself back up. And we'll sit up for the second side straight away, but if you need a little pause in between, then go for it. And turning the chest to the direction of the right leg now. And as you're ready, gently starting to round over the right leg. The side may feel different, so take it slow. If you need to adjust how the right leg is, if you need to add a bend to the knee or add more height for the hips, then go for it. And slowly making your way back up as you feel ready. Releasing back to center, taking a couple twists side to side to release the spine. And from here, we'll set up a counter pose so you can move your props off to the side. We'll set up a reverse tabletop shape, so bringing the soles of the feet down to the floor. And then from here, option to keep the pelvis down. We'll set up the hands first so fingers can point towards the feet, towards the sides, or behind you. See what feels best for shoulders and wrists. And then pelvis can stay down and you can lift from the center of the chest. Or from here, press hands and feet down, lift the pelvis up as well. We'll stay for 4 to 6 breaths. And while you are here, keep the pelvis lifting as high as you can. Chin can stay tucked. Maybe you can let the head hang back if that feels okay for neck. And when you do feel ready to exit, slowly tucking the chin to the chest, lowering the pelvis back down to the floor. And from here, bolster near the top of the mat if you're using one. And we'll swing the legs around and come to lying down on the belly. And we'll set up Sphinx pose here, so find your expression of the shape. For starters, elbows might be underneath the shoulders, forearms can be parallel or hands together. And if this feels like too much of a back bend, you might walk the elbows forward a little bit. If you'd like more sensation, you could also think about lifting the elbows up off the floor for a seal pose variation. And also the option to use the bolster for this. You could bring it between the elbows and the chest for a little extra support here. And see what feels comfortable to do with the neck as well. Do you want to keep it neutral? Do you want to lift the gaze, keep the gaze lifted? Or do you like to let the head hang heavy? And find your expression of the shape and then settle yourself in. You have about 1 more minute in this shape, but if your spine or your body is letting you know to come out sooner, then you're welcome to exit and you can come to lying down on the belly. And if you were using any props, you can move them out of the way first, and then lower the chest all the way down to the floor. You can stack palms under the forehead, or you can turn the gaze to one side. Maybe stillness here. If you need a little movement, give the hips a gentle rock side to side, or you can windshield wiper with the heels side to side. And then, any way you like, as you feel ready to roll yourself onto your back. And once you arrive, extend the legs long down the mat, extend the arms long up the mat. And then from here, walk your feet towards the bottom left corner, and then the hands towards the top left corner until you're in a crescent moon or banana shape with the body. And the right ankle can cross over left or right wrist over left. Notice the pelvis here. There might be a tendency for that right side to want to lift up, so see if you can keep it evenly heavy. Always the option to bend the elbows or to turn the head a little differently if something would make this more comfortable for the neck. And then settle here. Notice that whole right side of the body. And crossing anything that's crossed, walk the hands and the feet back to center. And then feet towards the bottom right, arms towards the top right. Set yourself up for your second side. And it might match what the first side did, or maybe this side needs to look a little different. That's fine. Listen to your body. And settle the pelvis and find that stretch the whole left side. And slowly bring the feet and the arms back to center. And then release the arms down to your sides. We'll set up a one-legged twist here. So I like to have the bolster nearby. If you want to keep it near your left-hand side, we'll do the right leg first. So you can bend the right knee, scoot the hips over to the right just a couple of inches. And with the help of the hands, you can guide the right knee across the body and maybe onto the bolster, wherever it ends up. Finding a twist for the spine, and see if you like to bring it a little higher up the spine, you might turn your gaze over towards the right. Find the arm expression that feels best here. The hands can be anywhere on the body supporting yourself. You could also take that right arm overhead if you want a little more side body stretch. If your head is turned to the right, then bring it back to center and lower the head down to the left. Bringing the gaze back to center as you're ready, both arms down by your sides, and gently unravel yourself back to midline. And hips to midline, and if the bolster was handy, then take it over to the right-hand side. Right leg can extend, scoot the hips to the left a few inches, and then with the right arm, guide the left knee across the body. And generally match the blueprint of whatever you did on the first side. If this side needs something a little different or different support, then go for it. Once you settle in, if you added the head turns on the first side, then maybe the head to the right an inch and lower the gaze down to the left. And if the head is turned to the left, bring it back to center and lower the gaze down towards the right. And if the head is turned to the right, bringing it back to center, and then slowly releasing the arms, unraveling the legs back to midline. Now see what feels good here. Maybe a gentle windshield wiper side to side to release the hips. And if your body's asking for any last quiet shape or movement, then go for it. Otherwise, we'll set up Shavasana. For today's Shavasana, I'll invite you to use your bolster underneath your knees. But if there's a different expression you like to rest in, then go for it. Legs can be extended any way that feels comfortable. Maybe arms are by your side or somewhere on the body. If the head needs a little support, you can add a cushion or a blanket underneath. Any movement to help you settle in, you can rock the head or the hips side to side. And getting as comfortable as you can, and then settle yourself in. Rest here, let the body feel heavy. Gently bring your attention back to the space. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. And give the head a gentle rock side to side. And when you feel ready, make your way down to one side, find a fetal position, and pause for a couple of breaths. And any way you like to get there, making your way up to any comfortable tall seated position. Using any of your props to support yourself. And take a moment to check in with the body, take that scan from the feet to the head. The hands can stay where they are. Maybe the palms connect at the heart. Maybe the chin bows towards the chest. And thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you. And again, my name is Nicholas. If you have any questions about anything that we did today, please reach out to me and enjoy the rest of your day.